What if I told you that your favorite story didn't live in your head? It lived in your bloodstream. That lump in your throat during a Pixar short? Goosebumps while watching an ad? That's not magic. That's chemistry, where emotion is the real conversion metric. Welcome to the hormone-fueled science of storytelling and the secret of storyselling. Power and freedom, the two cornerstones of a thriving society. And no one teaches us that better than a good story. With great power
comes great responsibility.
Story selling is a power so sneaky, so primal that it can almost blur the lines between fact and fiction. Or tear down old truths to build new ones. But why do some stories make us feel seen while others barely register? Have you ever thought why a Pixar short makes us cry in 60 seconds, but a pitch deck puts us to sleep? By the end of this video, you'll realize that the answer lies in biology. Yup, science is the ultimate sidekick to story selling. Most people think that stories are felt, right? It's like some cosmic energy that makes us laugh, cry, feel at the edge of our seats. What if I told you it's not as cosmic as you think it is? It's all wired in our neurons. Let me explain you how. At Princeton, a neuroscientist, Yuri Hassan, found something wild. When you tell somebody a story and they care, your brainwaves literally sync up with theirs, almost like telepathy. Now that's the cornerstone of building trust. And once trust enters the chat, story becomes influence. And what do we do with that influence? We sell. But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that story selling is manipulation. It's resonance. It's not some cheap magic trick that you use to lure people into buying your old Jordans. When your story mirrors their struggles, when you name their fears, their desires, and then offer a path forward, you're not just a brand, you just became a messiah.
Charlie, will I ever see you again?
Sure you will, kid. You know, goodbyes aren't forever.
Then, goodbye, Charlie. I love you.
Yeah. I love you too.
You cried at a cartoon dog. You donated for a cause after watching a 30-second ad. You literally bought a $200 product because somebody told you to just do it. Why? Because your brain didn't buy the story. Your hormones did. Let me show you how stories makes us feel first and think later. Here's the sciencey bit. Your body makes happy hormones when you hear a happy story. Oxytocin, endorphins, dopamine. You feel love, trust, joy. And then it all goes down. Cortisol, adrenaline. You feel sad, anxious. And you know what makes the story good? When the hormones ride the sine wave. Up and down. Tension and release. Hook, hold, heal. Healing is primal. It's instinctive. When we feel broken, we'll do anything in our power to feel whole again. I say this not as a cliche, but as somebody who has lived it, crawled through the pain, and came out on the other side changed. A few years ago, something happened that redefined what relationships and healing meant. I have a very overprotective grandfather, so when I finished high school, I wanted to experience freedom. I applied to a couple of colleges which were a little further away from where I lived. My grandfather found out and he was livid. In fact, he forbade me to even leave the house. What did I do? I ran away. Imagine a 16-year-old with no experience, no money, just packed her bags, took a cab and went to the train station. I think I just wanted to teach my grandfather a lesson, be away for a couple of days, come back, and that's it. But life had different plans for me. I still wonder how life would be if I had listened to my grandfather and stayed. The cab that I took got into an accident. I still remember it felt infernal. My body was hot and cold at the same time. I just wished it would end. I don't remember much, but it comes to me in flashes. I think there was an ambulance. There were a lot of people around me who were yelling, and then it was just dark. But you know what? It didn't just end there. I opened my eyes and I found myself in this dark, dingy hospital room. But the worst part was, I couldn't speak, I couldn't move. I literally felt that I was trapped. In that moment, the only thing that I could think of was my grandfather. What would he do? What would my life be if I didn't leave that day? Thinking about my grandfather became that beam of light in that dark, dingy room. It's a long story, but today I sit in front of you, living, breathing, smiling. You know why? Because what I just told you never happened. It's the story I wrote based on the plot of the movie Finding Nemo. Okay, I didn't want to lie, but I just wanted to prove a point what a good story can do.
You got a problem, buddy? Huh? Do you? Want a piece of me? Yeah. Ooh, I'm scared now. What?
Wait a minute.
Stop following me, okay?
It's an animated tale about a fish experiencing a very human moment. Imagine you're feeling everything that the fish feels, from love to sadness to truth to anger to everything. And to be able to do that, that's the power of storytelling. The power to heal, to move, and to remind us that even the most animated tales can carry true human emotions. And sometimes healing begins when we allow ourselves to feel the story that isn't even ours. If you felt something while watching these movies, if your heart fluttered or your eyes watered, congratulations, your hormones bought this story, not your heart, not your body. It's how our grandmothers told us fables that we still remember, because they made us feel. It's not just facts, but friction, fear, fulfillment. They created that sine wave of emotions in our soul. That's the art of storytelling and the ultimate science of story selling. So next time you write a story, a pitch, a script, a campaign, ask not just what's my message. Instead, ask what should I make them feel? Make them cry, make them laugh, make them trust you, because once they do, they'll follow you anywhere. This is Story Please, where we decode storytelling, one ad, one story, one hormone at a time. If you want to turn your stories into emotional powerhouses, comment below and I will send you a framework that will fire up those neurons. Subscribe for more episodes that turn storytelling into science that you can actually use.